Welcome to the Noah Network, guys. I'm Adam Lavelle, formerly known as the Wrestling Snob for many years around the independent wrestling scene. Now, I was called the Wrestling Snob because what I was known for was traveling all over the place looking for the best in all of professional wrestling, independent professional wrestling. I had it up to here with WWE and Impact and yes, even precious AEW. So I was going around trying to find the purest form of professional wrestling, the least insulting form of professional wrestling, the most athletic form of professional wrestling. Professional wrestling matches and shows, God forbid I try finding an entire show, that consisted of fights, real looking fights that looked like two grown men competing in an athletic competition, not a cheerleading competition, not a trampoline competition, not a Saturday Night Live skit parroting what I love, professional wrestling. But I retired the name Wrestling Snob when I found Nirvana, when I found Pro Wrestling Noah, the greatest professional wrestling in the world, and it's not even close. In Pro Wrestling Noah, you're not going to have to be ashamed of things like this. You're not going to have to cringe when your wife or your friend walks through and something is on your television that looks like that. No, in Pro Wrestling Noah, you're going to believe again. I grew up in the Jim Crockett promotion era. I grew up in the UWF, in Mid-South, in world-class championship wrestling. Wrestling that made you believe. Wrestling that led you down an emotional pathway to Noetic Nirvana. Why? That's what I call my very own Twitter page. Noah Noetic Nirvana. Because Pro Wrestling Noah is professional wrestling for the intelligent wrestling fan. And that's what this YouTube page is all about. It started out just being about my podcast, Mount Ararat, a Pro Wrestling Noah podcast, and it's quickly morphed into being news and updates and opinions and articles that I opine on and everything you can imagine, because I'm going to do all I can to promote wrestling that finally is done right. WrestlingDoneRight.com. Go there for everything Pro Wrestling Noah. All the links you'll need as a non-Japanese speaking person to follow, understand, and better enjoy Pro Wrestling Noah. You'll have things like a link to Mount Ararat podcast. You'll have things like a link to Hisame's news page. What is Hisame's news page? This is a page where a young woman translates all things from Japanese into English that relates to Pro Wrestling Noah, from backstage interviews to articles to her thoughts on matches and shows. It's the greatest. Noah Arkive will be right there at WrestlingDoneRight.com, as well as a link to Pro Wrestling Noah's Twitter page, and it's in English. A link to Pro Wrestling Noah's English YouTube page. Guys, don't let this company being Japanese scare you away. They have English commentary for all their big shows, and I think they'll probably have it for more shows as they go forward. Where can you find it? Finally, you can find Pro Wrestling Noah on the app Wrestle Universe. You can look that app right up on your phone, or just go to your computer and put in Wrestle Universe English, and it will take you right to the site where you can subscribe for under $10 a month. I think it's under $9 a month. I'd pay $20 a month for this, because finally we have wrestling done right. And again, that's where you can go to find all your links. WrestlingDoneRight.com. I'm Adam Lavelle, and it's all about Noah Noetic Nirvana. Come aboard the Ark and finally be happy with professional wrestling once again. And you can thank me later.